It is January, 6:43 in the morning. Your heating has been on for 40 minutes. You press your hand flat against the wall beside the radiator. It is cold. Not just cool cold, the kind of cold that radiators do not fix. You turn the thermostat up, the boiler fires. You wait. Nothing changes. At some point this winter, possibly this week, possibly already, you will reach a decision. Cavity wall insulation perhaps. A new boiler. A heat pump, quoted at £14,000 and subsidised down to something that still feels like a large number. You will spend money, sometimes considerable money, trying to solve a problem that the person who built your house solved in 1887. Here is what no one processing your ECO4 application has any financial reason to tell you. Your Victorian terrace was not designed to be sealed. It was designed to breathe. And every modern intervention that treats it like a new build is making it colder, damper, and more expensive to run, not less. This is not a fringe view. This is not contested science. This is the fundamental difference between how a solid-walled Victorian building manages heat and moisture and how a modern cavity wall house manages heat and moisture. And that difference was not explained when modern building methods arrived. It was simply never passed on to the people who inherited these buildings. Right now, across millions of Victorian and Edwardian terraced homes across Britain, people are turning up thermostats that cannot fix the problem they have. Some of them are about to spend thousands of pounds making it worse, and they have no idea. If you are new here, hit subscribe now. Every week, British Home Secrets reveals the knowledge they buried, built specifically for UK homes. Now, let us get into this. Before you can understand why your Victorian terrace is cold, you need to understand what it is made of. Not just the materials, the logic underneath the materials. Your walls are solid brick, not cavity walls, solid. Typically 220 millimeters thick. 2 leaves of brick bonded together with lime mortar, with no gap between them and no insulation layer inside. To a modern eye, this looks like a problem. An energy assessment will flag it as a problem. The EPC rating on your home almost certainly flags it as a problem. It is not a problem. It is a design decision. Victorian builders were not working with inferior materials. They were working with a completely different theory of how a building should manage heat and moisture. That theory has a name. It is called vapor permeability, and it is the single concept that will explain everything that follows in this video. Here is what it means in practice. A Victorian solid brick wall, pointed with lime mortar, is porous. It absorbs moisture from inside your home from cooking, from breathing, from washing, and it releases that moisture outward through the face of the brick. The wall is constantly cycling moisture in and out, slowly, silently, without your involvement and without a dehumidifier, and without a ventilation system. That same wall, because it is 220 millimeters of dense thermal mass, also stores heat. It absorbs warmth over a 6 to 8 hour cycle and releases it back into the room slowly, long after the heating is turned off. Your Victorian terrace was not designed to get warm quickly. It was designed to stay warm steadily, not fast heat, distributed heat. The Victorians understood something that the modern building industry has largely set aside. A breathable wall and a thermally massive wall are the same wall. You cannot separate the two functions. The porosity that allows the moisture to move is the same property that gives the brick its thermal density. They are not two features, they are one system. Now here is what happens when you treat that system as a problem to be solved. Modern building interventions, such as cavity fill, injected into a wall that has no cavity, cement repointing applied over lime mortar, and rigid insulation boards fixed to the internal face of an external wall do not improve a Victorian wall. They change what the wall is. They convert a breathing structure into a sealed one. A sealed Victorian wall does not behave like a modern sealed wall because it was never designed to be sealed. The moisture that used to move outward through the brick now has nowhere to go. It accumulates. It finds the cold spots, the reveals around your window frames, the corners where two external walls meet, the floor junction where your skirting board meets the plaster, and it sits there. You do not notice it at first. Then you notice a smell, then a tide mark, then black patches in the corner of your bedroom that your letting agent will call condensation, your surveyor will call penetrating damp, and your builder will quote you £3,000 to remedy. It is none of those things. It is a breathing wall that has been told to stop breathing. The cold did not get worse because your walls are inadequate. The cold got worse because a well-meaning intervention removed the one mechanism your walls had for managing the thermal cycle they were built around. Walk to your ground floor, any ground floor room, and stand still for a moment. If your home was built before 1919, the floor beneath your feet is almost certainly not concrete. It is timber, boards laid across joists, joists resting on sleeper walls. Underneath those sleeper walls there is nothing. A void, typically 150 to 450 millimeters of open air, running the full footprint of your ground floor, ventilated directly to the outside through the air bricks set into the base of your exterior walls. You have, in other words, a room with a cold outside air gap built into its floor. This was not a mistake. The void prevents the joists from rotting. The air bricks keep the void dry. Without them, Victorian terraces would have failed structurally within decades. They have instead stood for 140 years. The void is doing exactly what it was designed to do. The problem is not the void. The problem is that almost no Victorian terrace has insulation between those joists. The boards are bare. The void beneath them is ventilated to outside air in January. And heat, as the laws of thermodynamics are entirely indifferent to your gas bill, moves toward cold. Here is the number that matters. An uninsulated suspended timber ground floor accounts for between 15 and 20% of total heat loss in a Victorian terrace. Not the walls, not the windows, the floor, the thing you are standing on right now, in your socks, wondering why your feet are always cold, even when the radiators are running. And almost no one tells you this. Not because it is a secret, because the fix is unglamorous. It does not require a certified installer. It does not qualify for a government grant. It cannot be sold to you through an ECO4 referral scheme. It requires a torch, a bag of mineral wool, and an afternoon on your knees in a crawl space. The void must continue to ventilate. That is non-negotiable. Your air bricks must remain clear. This is where well-meaning interventions cause serious damage. A draft is coming up through your floorboards, so you seal the air bricks. The draft stops. The void stops drying. The joists begin to hold moisture. Within 5 to 10 years, you have dry rot in a floor structure that was otherwise sound. There is only one correct intervention for a suspended timber floor. You insulate between the joists, not beneath the void, not above the boards, between the joists, from below, leaving the void fully ventilated above and the insulation layer sitting directly under the floor surface above. The materials cost between £180 and £350 for a typical Victorian terrace ground floor, depending on floor area. The heat loss reduction is immediate. Not across a heating season, immediately. The same evening. Your feet will tell you before your energy bill does. The floor and the wall are the same problem expressed in two different places. Both are Victorian building elements that work correctly when they are allowed to breathe and fail when they are sealed. Your wall needs to release moisture through its face. Your floor void needs to circulate air through its base. Seal either one without understanding why it was open, and the building begins to work against you. Now let us be precise about what is available to you right now. The Warm Homes Plan, the current government scheme, has a budget of £13.2 billion, allocated primarily toward heat pumps, external wall insulation, and solar panels. The average heat pump installation costs between £9,000 and £13,000 before subsidy. External wall insulation on a Victorian terrace runs between £8,000 and £15,000 depending on property size. These are not small numbers. They are, however, the numbers that generate installer margins, certification fees, survey costs, and referral income at every stage of the chain. The bag of mineral wool between your floor joists costs £180. The raked-out lime mortar repointing that stops your brickwork from trapping moisture costs £400 to £800 for a typical terrace front elevation, done by a competent tradesperson who understands period properties. The heavy curtain lined with thermal interlining hung 10 centimetres from your single glazed sash window with a floor-length drop costs £60 in fabric and an afternoon to make. It reduces heat loss through that window by approximately 50%. A replacement double-glazed sash unit costs between £800 and £1,400 per window. Here is what no installer submitting an application to the Warm Homes Plan is incentivized to tell you. For a Victorian terrace, the correct sequence of interventions is floor first, draughts second, window dressings third, lime repointing fourth. External wall insulation, the flagship product of every government energy scheme for the last 15 years, is not on that list. This is not because it does not work. Rather, on a solid brick Victorian wall, improperly specified external wall, insulation traps moisture at the wall insulation interface, accelerates brick spalling, and in heritage conservation areas frequently causes planning enforcement action that costs more to resolve than the installation saved. This is not a fringe concern. Historic England guidance on retrofitting traditional buildings has said this explicitly since 2012. Lift 3 or 4 boards at the perimeter of your ground floor. Look underneath. If you see bare joists, an open void, you have found your largest single source of heat loss. Mineral wool bats, 100mm thick, friction fitted between the joists, supported by netting or battens beneath, will reduce that heat loss by 70 to 80%. Cost is £180 to £350. Time is 1 day. Tools required are a torch, a staple gun, a dust mask, and a willingness to be briefly uncomfortable in a small space. Then address the draughts, not general draughts, specific ones. Victorian terraces lose a disproportionate volume of heated air through 4 specific points: the gap between floorboard and skirting, the keyhole and letterbox on the front door, the gap at the top and bottom of the sash window where the 2 meeting rails overlap, and the loft hatch if it is uninsulated and unsealed. Address these 4 points with appropriate draft strip, brush seal, and 100mm of insulation on the loft hatch lid. Combined material cost is under £80. The combined heat retention effect will be measurable on your next gas bill. If you have recently had cavity wall insulation injected, cement repointing applied, or rigid insulation boards fitted internally, and you now have rising damp, cold bridges, or black mold in corners, do not add more modern intervention. Stop. Find a surveyor who specializes in traditional and period buildings. The Royal Institution of Chartered Surveyors has a register. A 1-hour consultation costs between £150 and £300. It will tell you whether your current interventions are the cause of the symptoms you are paying to treat. You now know that your Victorian terrace was not built to be sealed. It was built to breathe. The solid brick wall, the lime mortar, and the suspended timber floor are not inferior materials waiting to be upgraded. They are a coherent thermal and moisture management system that has functioned correctly for 140 years. You now know that the largest single source of heat loss in your home is not your walls. It is the uninsulated void beneath your ground floor. Between 15 and 20% of your heat is leaving through the floor you are standing on. The fix costs £180 to £350 and requires no installer, no certification, and no government scheme. You now know that cavity wall insulation, cement repointing, and internally fitted rigid insulation boards are not improvements to a Victorian solid brick wall. They are conversions. On a wall that was designed to breathe, that conversion traps moisture, accelerates brick deterioration, and creates the damp and cold bridge conditions they were supposed to prevent. You now know that the retrofit industry is financially structured around interventions that cost thousands of pounds. The interventions that will make the most immediate difference to your home this winter cost under £500 in materials and can be completed without a single approved installer setting foot in your property. Share this video with anyone who owns or rents a Victorian or Edwardian terraced house in Britain, particularly anyone who has been quoted for external wall insulation, a heat pump or cavity fill, and has not yet signed the paperwork. This is British Home Secrets. We find the knowledge they buried and we give it back to the people who need it. Subscribe, because there is a lot more where this came from.